Your good evening, folks. Welcome to Monday night episode of Bum Talk, episode 29. I am your host, the charismatic, the one and only Che Bums, along with my co-host
Danny Bums.
Danny Your Bums. It's gonna be our yours. Went with Che Your Bums and Danny Your Bums. Anyway, guys, it was a big packed weekend for combat sport. Big UFC fight down in San Antonio, 2 big boxing fights, one overseas, and then probably the biggest, second biggest summer boxing fight of the summer. But Danny Bums, I throw the ball to you like how Kevin Durant is going to pass to Kyrie Irving the ball. So you open up the floor.
That's
right.
So we go.
I'm going to go overseas right now.
Go across the pond
Across the
to
pond.
the O2 for the big heavyweight fight with Dillian Whyte and Colombia's very own Oscar Rivas,
right?
Fighting out of Montreal with Mark Ramses.
Oh, he fights out of Canada. Okay.
He also trains later Alvarez.
Oh, he's got both of them. Oh, cool. Okay.
And he also trains David Lemieux.
Lemieux. In the words of Stephen Smith, it's Lemieux.
So it was
for the interim WBC.
BC.
Okay.
Heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
This the winner of this fight would be mandatory for Deontay Wilder.
Yes, I did read that.
Post the Fury fight.
And the Fury fight is scheduled for early, which is February
2019. Should Deontay get past Luis Ortiz in September?
Ah, that's right. It's scheduled for that, which I think they said it's Barclays Center gonna fight at for that one. Is the one for
so what?
The one for Wilder, is the venue already determined or not yet?
I don't know. Probably Barclays. And
so he fought Oscar Rivas over the weekend.
So Dillian Whyte's probably gonna have a fight in December. Obviously nothing crazy, but
you think
just
a mandatory?
Stay active. No, because he is the mandatory.
Okay. So
because obviously this guy's fighting twice before he'll be able to fight Deontay Wilder. In my opinion, I hated this whole. I said it on Twitter. I hate the whole narrative that even Eddie retweeted like during the build up during fight week. Like I think Sky Sports put up a picture of Dillian Whyte, and they're like, when you waited for so long for a mandatory title shot, and then Eddie retweeted it, but it's like at the same time, early this year, he was offered the AJ fight,
but he didn't take it obviously because of money.
Yeah, but still,
you're right.
Didn't take the fight. You were offered. That's 3 belts.
So
the reason why AJ didn't fight April 13th is because he couldn't find an opponent, because it was supposed. If it wasn't Wilder, they're going to go with Whyte.
White, yes. But then obviously
it was a big holdup. He didn't want to sign.
Yeah, and then you mentioned that.
So I don't really. How do I feel bad for this guy? You, and it's like, what's his face? The British guy, the cruiserweight. Oh, fuck. The guy that fought in Creed, the movie, the first one. He said,
Ricky Patton? No, yeah.
Fuck. He even said it. He goes, yo, just take the money now and you'll be a star. And, like, take the opportunity now, man.
I think it was what they're offering, $5 million, was it, or $3 million?
I don't know, but like apparently they're getting paid shit.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was the whole argument. But so I understand, and like any of the
no, he was really pissed off because like the rematch was shit money.
Oh, the rematch clause money was okay because usually
should he beat him? But that's
usually they would have paid more. They would have paid more, obviously, if you beat him.
But I don't know. But the thing is, like you were offered arguably the biggest fight in the division. You would have been a massive fight. 2 British guys in Wembley. The venue was set for April 13th. And then even like Eddie couldn't even front, and now he's the one pushing that whole. The guy's gone 600 days without a manager. I'm like, dude, you like Eddie, why are you like don't do that, Eddie. Like you're so like you really want us to really forget about the fact that you offered him the title, three belts before.
3 belts
earlier this year.
Well, I mean, and not. I mean, I guess like everything else, life's about gambles and risks. But so just say that that Dillian Whyte took his fight back in April, right? And say he lost, he would have no belts then. Just say what about AJ? He took the money,
but not never since he said no. He's been scrambling to fight an opponent to put him in a mandatory position.
Well, I mean,
when he was offered 3 belts. And he obviously he's only lost this to AJ years ago.
Yeah.
But he obviously could have. He's obviously improved. He could have probably beaten him. Everyone in the heavyweight division
could probably be, yeah, because obviously what happened. Well, I mean, so with you saying that, and I'm going to counter, I guess this probably feeds the fire more. Hey, listen, I didn't fight AJ this time. The money, I fought this Oscar guy. You know, I beat him. So maybe now he knows, okay, maybe now I do have a legitimate shot to fight AJ if he gets the belts again.
He had the opportunity in his hands.
I mean, he played his cards right, I think. I mean, he can still maybe fight him maybe next year or something. I mean, depending what happens with Rivas and AJ if they fight this year. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think he took the right reward with this one. He had the opportunity, 3 belts, but who knows if he would have won back in April. So, instead of losing 3 belts,
after this performance, yeah, I think he could have won. He looked really. Remember we saw his Joseph Parker fight a year ago.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, picked him apart.
Yeah, but remember, like we thought he had no gas tank. Remember in the 12th round, he was like dead.
He was
This fight, he was just so composed. He was boxing. Because usually Dillian Whyte kills you. Like he's like Deontay Wilder power.
Well, I mean, he also had almost a year off.
In December.
Okay, so half a year off, 7 months.
Chisora. So
but
he looked really good, and he got dropped in the 9th round.
Well, maybe all this.
And that's another crazy thing. I give props to the kid because this is heavyweight boxing, and that's Deontay Wilder. I mean, that's Dillian Whyte. He knocks you out cold, and the fact that this kid was able to take his shots and went the distance, that kid, Eddie should cite him.
Oscar Rivas, right?
I think, yeah.
What is he? What was the promoter? You know at all?
I don't know. I think he last fought on a top ranked card, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because I know Eliter Alvarez is top ranked.
True.
And
maybe
possibly, who knows? They're both
but
Colombians.
Damn, man, that kid did really good. The fact that he dropped Dillian.
Was he a nobody coming before this?
No, he's undefeated. He was ranked number 5 in the world apparently.
Okay.
I don't know what governing body it is. I don't think that's not to me. I don't even know who it was. I was rooting for him, but whatever.
Of course. So
his first loss, he did pretty good.
And I was completely oblivious. I didn't know this fight happened until you put it on TV because I guess it was overshadowed, with obviously with Pac there.
It's always good. Well, I was excited because Dillian Whyte doesn't have any U.S. broadcasting fight, right? Actually, his last fight, it was
December,
on
right?
Showtime. Well, his U.S. broadcaster, but I think it was like on YouTube or some shit.
Oh, like one of those free stream things?
Yeah, because he fights in the UK. Okay. And then they finally got him on the zone.
All right, okay. And then over
that's probably why now he's really, because remember he was thinking about leaving.
Yeah. I remember you talked about that.
The DA mess that he fucked up on, and apparently Daddy was like, "I'll give you more money if you fight with the zone because they'll give you money, whatever." I
still don't know how that works. Like obviously
that's why boxers make so much money, man.
Well, yeah, because without going out of context, I told you Caleb Plant got paid $750,000 for his fight, and most UFC fighters probably get paid a quarter.
What?
He got paid $150,000. That was his purse. I don't know if bonuses or anything like that, but his base salary was $750,000.
That's what and no one
$750,000, and he was on free TV.
Knows who Caleb Plant?
He was on free TV.
Oh my god!
That
you know
was
what's
Fox.
funny? You all know who Jorge Masvidal is, right?
He got what, 5, 4?
No, everyone knows who Jorge Masvidal is, right? You don't know who Caleb Plant is, but he made more money in this fight than oh my god!
I was reading the purse line.
Boxing is crazy.
I was reading the purse line.
Stupid
and
money,
mind
man.
you, I told you he's on free TV.
That's what I told you about Brandon Shaw. Didn't know what he's talking about when he said that shit on the Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah. You ain't watched that. But
he makes more than Max Holloway.
Yeah, because champions, I think regular champions
make at least
500 maybe, and then plus
this
a bonus.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, so he made $750,000, and it's on free TV. So I don't know if he gets kind of like I don't know how that works with T revenue on that point, but he makes base $750,000, and I think his challenger made like $250 or $150. I forgot what I think.
Oh my god!
So even challengers are making like
Jared Hurd.
Oh, back in May?
No, when he fought with mind you, it was pay-per-view, but I think this is before pay-per-view. When he fought he was the co-main event to Wilder Fury.
December, okay.
Granted, he's a world champion. He has 2 titles. He got paid $2 million.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that $2 million. Co-main event.
Boxing.
The only ones,
money,
we spoke about this a couple weeks ago. The only ones that get paid $1 million are Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor, and I don't know about Khabib.
Khabib got paid $2 million.
$2 million. So those are at least the 3 active fighters. Active, I say the word loosely.
DC made $4 million
against
Derek Lewis.
Wow,
it's the most ever.
So I'm using the word active loosely, so that we know of, only 4 UFC fighters are making $1 million. Mm-hmm. I don't know what Poirier going to make in September. But look at that co-main event to one of the biggest pay-per-view fights last year, made $2 million easily. That's not including pay-per-view buys and bonuses and endorsements, whatever. But wow, so do you know how much Dillian Whyte made for his fight? What was the purse or just the base?
Sure, good money. I don't know.
A couple pounds over there, definitely.
Pounds too.
Yeah,
but whatever. We'll see who he fights. Like Eddie said today in an interview, he goes like, "Who knows what can happen?" He goes like, "Maybe Deontay loses in September. Maybe Fury retires again. Who knows?" But like,
yeah, it's always.
He's technically he's waiting. He's still gonna wait almost another year.
Yeah,
for that fight.
But, I mean, I always said, especially in combat sport, MMA and boxing, it's always a scenario. What if this?
Especially
too many factors. With
the WBC being so like a little bit biased towards things, like you don't even know what these governing bodies. Like, to me, that really didn't mean shit. Sorry.
I mean, just a prize belt.
To me, whatever you want to call it. I'll always remember you as the guy that you got offered the biggest fight in the division, and you said no to that, and you're scrambling to get a fight to get you into a mandatory position. That's all I'll ever remember Dillian Whyte as, and for getting dropped by a Colombian in the 9th round.
Oscar Rivas. Congrats, Oscar Rivas.
Moving on to the Octagon.
The Octagon, which I was wrong. I told Danny it was an ESPN Plus card. He's like, no, it's an ESPN card. I didn't know it was. It was a big card. They were back down in San Antonio the first time in about 5 years. The card was pretty stacked, to say the more or least. It was headlined by...
Who was on it?
Greg Hardy was on it.
Oh, he killed that.
Ariel Arlovsky was like one of the first UFC heavyweight champions of all time.
Mm-hmm, legend.
Alex Hernandez, he was a contender. Dan Hooker, James Vick. So
it was a pretty good card.
It was.
I know everyone there.
It was an ESPN card, so it tends to be bigger fights on that card. Walt Harris, who was a co-main event. It was a pretty it's an ESPN card, like I said. It's not a plus card, so anyone can watch ESPN. It was a stacked card from beginning of the main card to the main event. I was surprised Greg Hardy wasn't at the main event. The co-main event. I thought he would have been co-main event with the way that Dana White has been pushing him since January, since the era of UFC ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
But Danny Bones, which fight would you want to talk about?
The only one I saw.
Well, let's talk about the main event, the welterweight fight. And I was surprised. I was telling Danny, he fought like 2 months ago. RDA. Literally about 2 months ago.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Or even probably
less.
The
reason why I lost. He should have done that
fought
fight.
2 months ago, and the last time Leon fought was, I think, in the winter. I'm not too sure. So anyway, it was another risk for RDA, because we talked about this last time. RDA took a risk fighting Kevin Lee, who was not ranked. He was a top 5 opponent, lightweight. He took the risk. He won. He dominated, and then this is kind of like the sequel to it. He fought another up and coming contender. I think Leon was ranked 12 or 13, something like that. And then obviously RDA was 4. Came off a big victory, destroying Kevin Lee. He took this fight 2 months later, and like I told you, it wasn't. He didn't get dominated, but he got clearly beat all 5 rounds against the British, right? British Leon Edwards. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, Summit. He took a lot of hits. It wasn't like the beating against Usman back in November, because that was a complete annihilation.
It's the thing I was talking about it some guy yesterday that I know in Nazareth. He loves fighting. He told me the thing is with this guy, RDA came from 155, so these guys, they're naturally bigger. So what do these guys always do? They always try to wrestle him, and look like he always gets just smuffed because they're just too big. But he's able to outstrike them. But like when they bring him down, look at Usman brought him down. Colby was out. He was just gunning. He was shooting the whole fight. That's how he won. His 3 losses is because the guys were just beating on you.
So he lost, and the 3 losses were against great fighters.
He should not have taken that fight, man.
I don't know what happened with this. I really
thought it was
don't know.
scheduled for September. I thought it was gonna be like the
later in the year
for the Abu Dhabi, and I'm like, and I see a week ago, I'm like,
Paul Federer is actually.
No, I saw a week ago. I forgot what UFC thing was on, and I'm like, they're promoting. I'm like, why are they promoting this in September? I'm like, wait, this is next week. I'm like, that's crazy.
Oh, last week was a California card.
Yeah,
the Faber thing. And I was surprised because it was pay-per-view. Right, it was pay-per-view 2 weeks ago. Then you had the California card. Then you had ESPN card, and then a pay-per-view again next week. So it was a big month for July.
Genius.
They had 2 pay-per-views, one ESPN Plus, and then one regular ESPN card. And then after the pay-per-view, they got the ESPN card in Newark, where we're going to.
They should start putting Loma on ESPN.
He's actually fighting in August.
I know, but why is he on Plus? He's freaking Loma.
I guess it depends, like the fight, the opponent he's fighting. I guess.
Okay.
Like, because usually ESPN cards are like.
That makes sense.
ESPN cards are like, you know, you need the card needs to be stacked. It just can't be the one fighter. You know, it has to be like a stacked card.
No, it's boxing. That's how they always do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But
So I think Leon fights Masvidal next.
Especially with the whole beef back in Liverpool, which I think was back in March.
Because I think Dana's ready to shut down the Conor fight for Masvidal, and to be honest with you, it's always been Usman and Colby.
Oh, since
so that's the plan. Once I imagine this guy beats Lawler, which we will see in 2 weeks. So
if
that's always been the plan, and there's nothing else to do. Either he waits it out, or I feel like the Edwards fight makes sense. I think that winner gets a guaranteed title shot.
More okay, like I always said, combat sports is always the what if scenario. If Lawler wins, whether it's a knockout or I don't know, just submission or just dominates, what happens to Lawler? You think automatic title shot?
Possibly, yeah.
And then we also have this. I think I spoke to you last. Sorry, we spoke last week. Like even Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is one victory away from also another title shot. If he puts on a clinic in about 3 weeks, they know I can go. Okay, you know what? Or if Robbie wins and then Nate Diaz wins, okay, Nate Diaz gets the title shot. But you know, I mean, UFC matchmaking. Like I said, you never know. But like you said, the plan is Usman versus Colby. Shot Colby gets.
It's always been the plan.
And I think Usman said he wants to aim for New York. I've read something. He wants to aim for the New York card.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. And the rivalry, obviously, because it's things from last year, prior to
the scuffle they had after 235 with Ali.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be that's the fight to make at 170. It's always been the fight.
Yeah.
He was interim champion, so he's always been.
Always kind of been in line to say to a certain extent.
What happens with RDA? You know what? Maybe
he's still a contender.
I think because I think they should give him Woodley. He deserves that.
I like that matchup.
Taking the fight so quickly and losing, he should because they almost matched him up 2 once.
They did, yeah.
That's a good fight. That's a really good fight.
Well, because what they did,
and then I want to see Askren and maybe Kevin Lee.
That's a good one. Well, so back to what you're saying. So yeah, they were gonna match up Woodley versus RDA because remember 2 years ago when RDA beat Lawler, that was like a title eliminator match. But then obviously I think Woodley got hurt or something. Then he was forced to fight Colby for the interim. But I do like that. I do like maybe RDA versus Tyrone.
That makes sense.
Good match both for them. You know.
I'll also have to see what happens in
August, like I said. I mean, if Pettis wins too, you know, he beat Wonderboy, he beat Nate Diaz. So there's a lot of factors, you know. And Nate Diaz wins, you never know what happens.
I think if Lawler loses in 2 weeks, I think it's easy to make the rematch between him and Askren. That's a good fight.
That's a great match. I would agree. Narrative, yeah, and
behind it,
controversial, you know.
Absolutely.
To a certain extent. So
I'm trying to put Kevin Lee somewhere.
I don't like his first fight at welterweight. He got style, but
maybe
or go ahead.
Darren Till. I don't know.
Where's he been? I mean, ever since the whole taxi accident.
Dana.
Have you been on his page lately?
No, Dana agreed that like that's a kid that he literally said we pushed him too early.
Yeah, kind of did, right? If you go on his page a lot, it's all memes now.
Yeah.
But also Dana said that in an interview.
Yeah, he said that.
Wow.
He pushed him too early.
Well, kind of like he pushed, I think, Sage Northcutt too.
Yeah, but look at Izzy, look at Connor.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I mean, it's not for everyone. Not everyone's built to that. People can have the skill, but the mentality, the maturity to evolve. I've had being a kid getting paid millions of dollars or pounds or whatever you want to call it. It's not. Yeah, it's absolutely correct. It might have gotten to him. But the welterweight division, you know, it's one of the most stacked divisions in like
that
155, 170,
70, 85 is pretty much that's it. I think that's the only fight to make.
Yeah,
the one that they're making. 205, I don't know. The guy's pretty much
up in the air.
Heavyweight, there's only one fight to make, and they already made it.
Yeah.
So 45, there's
3-4 guys. I mean,
Volkanovski,
Edgar, obviously Holloway, Zabib. I think obviously Korean. You still got
Ortega, Rodriguez.
So you got about
Zombie.
6 guys.
Yeah,
it's not bad. And you said Ortega's supposed to fight Zabit right in September, or is it Kareem supposed to fight Zabit? I think. Yeah, Kareem's supposed to fight Zabit in the fall. I think.
Really?
Yes, I think.
I think Zabit deserves a higher ranked opponent.
I mean, Kareem gets respect for but
I heard it was. Isn't it Ortega versus Rodriguez?
That was the original plan, but then
From Mexico.
I know you mentioned that, but I
don't watch that with Carrie.
What else? Quickly, for the card, what do you think about Greg Hardy?
I didn't see the fight, but he's a beast.
He's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my opinion about him. Domestic violence is a whole different ballpark. I understand it's MMA, it's not NFL, different kind of treatment. But I mean, he's a machine. He's fought 3 times, right? He fought the January card, the debut. He fought last weekend, then I think he fought like in March or April or something like that. His first fight was funny, right? The no DQ. He had DQ.
Oh, it's so brutal. He just grabs his face.
That was brutal.
They should run that back with that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know about ranked opponents, but they're doing the right thing. That's what you do with boxers when they're young. And
yeah, you build them up. Guys that have two, 3 wins. Same thing with.
I think once you get to 5-0 or 6-0, then maybe
you can consider.
Cody came into the promotion 5-0,
and he got a ranked opponent at 10-0.
The guy went from unranked to world champion in 1 year. 2016 was just one of the greatest years of my life.
What year? 2016?
Yeah, that was a great year. Anyways, so Leon Edwards, congratulations. We will see you against Masvidal later this year. You can almost bet on it.
So So I want to go through the fast. Yeah, Greg Hardy is 2-1 in the UFC. 3 fights in about 7 months. First was a DQ. Second fight was a knockout in the first round, and this one's a first round knockout again. So he's 5-1. So we'll see what happens with Greg Hardy's career.
Yeah.
So now from the octagon, we jump back to the square circle. This time in Vegas.
Fight, the semifinal of the PBC Welterweight Grand Prix.
Unofficially.
Yeah.
While Danny Bum sets it up.
You believe that they didn't acknowledge Terrence Crawford again?
They didn't?
They put up a list of welterweight champions.
Like the graphic?
The 2 WBAs at the time before the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Spence and Porter. And they mentioned WBO champion.
Nothing at the bottom, like small print? Nothing small print?
Apparently, if you're a regular champion, that supersedes all BBO.
But
before we get to that, we go to the phenomenal Caleb Plant.
On Fox TV.
Destroyed an undefeated fighter in Michael Lee.
Not related to Andy Lee at all.
Nah, he's American.
He's American.
I saw one highlight, and it was just dominance. It was just beautiful. I'm super happy for him. I'm told that he said if he wins the fight, something big is happening. I imagine he'll fight the winner of Durrell and Benavidez, which is the co-main event of Spence and
in September 20th, I think it is.
28th.
And
that's a little narrative there. Benavidez was world champion WBC. He got stripped for cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
The title was vacant. Anthony Durrell somehow won that belt. And now he's gonna face Benavidez, and that's gonna. When I think about the fight, I feel like this is what I think. You remember Greg Hardy went like that? It's gonna be like that.
but with boxing gloves.
Benavidez is a tough motherfucker.
So he's a co-main event to Porter and Spence.
I think that's the fight they're gonna unify.
Makes sense. Cause you gotta start unifying.
If you unify at 168, then you become the consensus. And like fuck Callum Smith.
And then
he only has one belt.
And then Fox can put up their
they can finally say
their poll again. They can put the poll after September 28th.
It said Durrell, Benavidez, or Plant.
Other, right? Other, right?
And then like 97%.
Other.
Or like 80 something.
But the majority was like other.
And then the zone replied and said Callum Smith. There's a bunch of trolls.
Callum Smith.
Yeah.
The other, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think he's, I don't know.
What do you call him? Some shady?
Yeah.
He's like it's like white rapper. You look at him, white rapper. Gold chain.
Yeah. He's really good. I love his story. He lost his daughter.
Oh.
His daughter died when she was like 2 for like a sickness. And then he lost his mom a couple months ago. Oh. He's been through a lot.
That's tough.
He's engaged to Fox's Jordan Hardy.
Jordan Hardy. That's the PBC girl?
Yeah. No, that's K-Dap though. She speaks like every language too.
She's British, right?
Spanish, everything. She's just, yeah. She works for Bleacher Report. She works, man.
A lot of
the World Cup.
A lot of these people they have multiple jobs because they're not full time, like, you know, but they have multiple.
Max Kellerman's at the bar high.
Yeah, Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah. Props to Skip Bayless for leaving ESPN and still being relevant. It's hard to do that.
It definitely is, especially going down to a lower network to ESPN. I mean, Fox is big, but you can't compare Fox to ESPN.
Probably have more control in this one.
Yeah, probably created contact. You know, more opinion, more direction. Yep, good point with that. So
but yeah, Caleb. I don't know. I think. I don't know. Again, I've only seen Darrell and Benavidez fight once, so I can't. I know Benavidez is just a freaking nature, right? Monster. He's like the Undertaker.
He's a guy that beat this guy, the one in the Colma, right?
Nah.
Who was that?
That's a different division.
All right.
He is fighting.
Yeah, I saw his name.
The Dagestani Russian.
I saw his name somewhere on Instagram. That's why I said it just came to my head.
They call him Oleg. He's Ukrainian. I don't know. I can't pronounce it, but they call him the Nail, the Ukrainian guy. He's the one that almost killed Adonis Stevenson. He's fighting a Russian who's champion at 175, and he's Dagestani. He fought a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember you
for unification.
At 175.
Insane. Now we'll finally have light heavyweight supremacy. Okay, I'm getting out of
That's all right.
But yeah, I think that might be the plan. Caleb gets the winner of that, which will be a unified. And just to go, apparently, Frank Warren made an offer to Callum Smith for Billy Joe to fight Callum for unification on that side.
On that side of the ballpark?
Supposedly, Eddie doesn't like to talk about it. Maybe because he says that the offer was really low.
He's not involved, probably. That's why.
No, because it's Callum. He obviously is involved. But he said that it's not the plan for them right now. Which Callum said he wanted to unify. I think he should take that fight. But apparently he's getting paid shit. They offered him shit money. So we'll see what happens. And he did say Callum's fighting September or October, which is against probably like a nobody in the UK. But it should have been Billy. I just want to see some. I just want to see some unifications, man.
I want to see some.
But yeah, so congrats, Caleb Plant. Beautiful performance. Proud of you, man. And the main event, man.
So quick question. So I'm confused. So it was one boxing card on two networks, right?
Huh?
It was one boxing card, the Fox card, then the Fox pay-per-view, right? Was that how it works?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can say that the Caleb Plant was like the feature prelim fight. Can you say that to a certain extent?
Yeah, they got that model from the UFC.
Yeah,
they got that from That's what they did for Mayweather Pacquiao, Mayweather McGregor. They had a card on Fox. On Fox.
Oh, okay.
And then they went into I forgot where.
Pay-per-view Showtime, probably.
Yeah, because that's where the UFC was at the time. Went to the Showtime paper.
So it would be the equivalent if like the UFC ever put like a title belt like in the feature prelim to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, I don't think they'll ever do it, but that's what it was. I was confused. And then and then after that was the pay-per-view portion.
Yeah.
Which was full of fights, a lot of fights.
Yeah, I just know that I know Udonis Yugas fought someone that's a lot lighter than him, and he killed him. I didn't see the highlights and didn't care for it.
And then started leading up to also knocked out.
Apparently that was an eliminator too. Somehow the other guy did.
Well, he replaced his original opponent. The opponent was supposed to fight someone else, but then it was like I think a 10-day replacement. So he picked them apart. But yeah, the main event, Pac Thur for the
that was some good stuff.
The WBA welterweight.
Going into this fight, I thought Keith was gonna win. Well, initially I always thought it was a great matchup, especially Keith coming back. Like
2 years away.
I don't think they shouldn't have given him in the second fight comeback. He should not have deserved a Porter because their first fight was close.
Yeah, he won the belt in 2017.
Definitely not a Spence. So they gave him the older guy,
which kind of makes sense.
Can probably definitely hang with So this is how the fight went.
And that was in the first.
I don't know. Look how much blood there is there.
That was towards the I think that's probably what the liver shot probably too.
But going into this fight, that's what I thought. That the matchup was great. I love that matchup to get the WBA champions to fight each other because they're both on the same
narrative too.
And then you have like two crazy young guys or younger guys, or not as young, but the guys who have been much more active.
Porter, Spence.
And not just that. It's also I think what they wanted was to they obviously always wanted to do a Thurman versus Spence. That's why they kind of gave him like the lighter of each.
Of course,
division.
Makes sense.
So obviously Porter is not at the level I think as a Spence. And then everyone thought Pacquiao would have lost to Thurman.
Of course.
I thought Pacquiao was going to lose. I didn't think he was going to get knocked out. I thought he was going to get outpointed because Thurman's really good. And then they would bring him together and to make this super welterweight fight
unification,
for 3 belts between Spence and Thurman, which has been talked about for years. Obviously, that plan's gone to shit because Pacquiao won.
Yeah,
I had Pacquiao winning comfortably.
No, yeah, and like Danny Bum said, I also thought Thurman was gonna win. Obviously, the young guy, he's 30 years old. He's currently in his prime.
Pacquiao apparently not.
No, Pacquiao just turned 40, I think, in December. They said. But yeah, he picked them apart, and I can't say I've seen 20 Thurman fights, but to me, I don't know if this is Thurman's recipe, but he kind of started out slow, and then he kind of picked it up like in the middle to late round, 7, 8-ish, 6th round. Yeah, picked it up, but I think the score was correct, split decision. It wasn't razor thin, but he edged him.
I feel like the first half it was all Pacquiao, especially with the knockdown, and then the next couple of fight rounds into the second half, Thurman was winning. All of a sudden, after that liver shot, Pacquiao got like 3 rounds.
That was like the definitive.
Boom, that's it. That's all you needed.
Yeah. And then you saw the little shuffle he did, I think, after the 8th or 9th round, the little leg shuffle.
Like the first round or second. That was great. It's just like, obviously Thurman was promoting the fight, but just all the shit that Thurman was talking. He got a little
T-Rex, and then making that weird noise. I can't do that with the, I got little T-Rex hands.
But now, because Pacquiao, he's kind of his own boss.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to fight the winner of Spence and Porter. I don't think he wants to. Like I remember when Spence beat Garcia.
There's a Twitter beef, right?
Pacquiao came into the ring. You can tell the network made him do that because he just really didn't want to say anything. Showtime's notorious for having people come into the fight.
Just like, to sell the fight.
Like when DSG destroyed Brandon Rios, Showtime was like begging Porter to walk in. And eventually they fought it out last September. We all know how it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the Pitbull took over.
Yeah. I think this is what I feel. I think Errol Spence is the poster boy of the whole PBs.
He definitely is.
I think him and Deontay are just their golden babies.
They are.
And then maybe Gervonta too.
They're the poster boys.
But I think right now, between Errol and Deontay, they are just the
poster
baby
boys.
face. They're like the John Cena. They're the Connor.
There's no doubt about that. The
difference is though that Errol Spence can fucking fight, man. That guy is, to me,
the best.
He's the best at 147. His whole Grand Prix. And I think after that, once he wins the 3 belts, I think then is where Al goes across the aisle and talks to Bob about
for a possible
the undisputed super fight between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence.
Because we talked about this when Crawford fought Khan. Like, who else is Crawford gonna fight on ESPN?
He's fighting is mandatory in the fall.
Yeah, I'm sure he is, but what big names in the fight?
Exactly.
There's no one else to fight, but like you said, if things work out, and like you said, Pacquiao is at an age, and with the balls in his court, he can decide, you know what, I don't want Spence, I want a money fight, or I don't know, or I can drop the belt. I don't know. Obviously,
you know what I think they should do. I think Al should let the DSG fight over there for once.
DSG
try to get that belt on this side.
But I feel like DSG will be a sacrificial lamb.
He has he's the hardest puncher in 147.
I did, I read that the other day.
I'm not saying he's the best boxer.
He's the hardest puncher, yeah.
But his punch is the hardest punch in 147. It's a mean ass. Like if he catches you, good night. Anyways, let's go back to the fight. Pacquiao, man, 40 years old. 40 years old. As I was thinking this, I'm like, if Pacquiao was in his prime, he might have murdered that man. But
I gotta be honest, Pacquiao looked clean. I mean, you saw a little reddish, but he looked clean. He had the leg work and everything.
God, it was incredible.
It was something else.
I was so happy for him. The only thing is, though, there's no FADA testing in this fight.
Yeah, you did mention that. And then
so it's like, I mean, okay,
who knows?
Whatever.
But from what I read, Thurman was cool with that, though. Apparently.
Yeah, of course. If he fights Errol, I'm sure Errol's gonna want that. Errol's a superstar, man. I love it. I love Errol Spence so much. He's like, I think he's my favorite.
I mean, I think part of the reason, I could be wrong, But I think part of the reason why he lost, like, he was gone for 2 years, Thurman. Obviously, he fought January the mandatory, which he dropped it. He dropped
it was just a
tuna fight, yeah.
Tuna fight.
Which he dropped him. I think he dropped Thurman, I think, in the 7th, 8th round.
No, he got him. He didn't drop him. He hurt him really bad in the 7th round. He looked like
But I mean, you were gone for 2 years, and you're fighting an elite fighter. So I mean, to a certain extent, I think
it was. I think he even cited the fire once he unified against DSG and had 2 belts. Because at the time he's the only unified champion.
Mm-hmm.
He just said. That's it. That was his goal, to become unified, to be the number. That's why they always wanted Spence versus Thurman, so Thurman can pass the torch to him.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, obviously, yeah, Thurman did unify, but if you look at his track record, like, he hasn't fought. I mean, besides Porter and GSG and Robert Guerrero, who he won the belt from, he hasn't really fought any big names.
Cool.
Thurman.
He has a better resume than Spence, actually.
He's 29 and 30.
Because he beat DSG, he beat Porter, he beat Collazo, he beat Guerrero.
For the belt, yes.
He's fought people. He hosted Cito Lopez,
Just fought in January.
One of the big guys that Errol's fought was Kell Brook.
Mikey Garcia.
Not
Chris Algieri.
I guess Chris Algieri, but that's when he was coming up. That's pretty much it. Because he beat Lamont Peterson, so that was mandatory, but that's Lamont Peterson. He's done. He retired. And he brought that Okaza guy, and he destroyed him in the first round.
Sean Porter also has some kind of decent names, obviously. He fought DSG, he fought Thurman, he
beat Broner when he was still big, good. That's the fight I think they make next. I think they're matching Broner up with Ivan Rekovic. And I think should he win that fight, they're going to give him Thurman because there's a lot of beef there.
I want to see that. The smack talking will be ridiculous.
Oh my god.
The smack talking, and we know that. We know that AB is.
He is so entertaining. That sport needs someone like him. Going back to Arrow.
3-3-1.
He's so good that Canelo wants to fight him at 160. They made him offers. You know this.
Yeah, they told me.
But yeah, man. Pacquiao, man, I can't believe you did it, man. Steroids or not.
I was no testing or testing
so
VADA or whatever.
That's only in boxing, man. 7 hours.
And it kind of is suspicious because you're 40 years old, so obviously when you're 40, you need more time off. Your muscles don't heal the same way as when you're younger. You take some other stuff, so I mean, like it's a little sus to a certain extent. It's a little sus. You're 40 years old, you don't want to get tested. So, but I mean, Thurman agreed to the clause, so I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, so he can do it all. Manny Pacquiao. He's a center. He was a captain for the Filipino team, basketball team. He's got like 63 boxing wins, I think.
We'll see if he fights
Spence and now if we could change, we could just say it. Boxing's a 100% chance. If Porter wins, maybe he might take. You know what? Maybe I'll fight Porter.
If Porter wins, that's so crazy.
He's gonna say, you know what? Porter's easier than Spence. I might take that Porter. He might say, I may take that Porter fight.
No, Spence is so good, man. But then Crawford is just as good.
T-Bug.
You know what? Crawford is crazy. He's another Mayweather. But just, I think, like, bigger with more power. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, like if
that
I
fight with Crawford and Spence.
If I remember correctly, Crawford's probably the biggest welterweight out of Thurman. Because Spence and Porter.
Spence is big. That's what I'm saying. So Spence is probably the biggest one of all of them.
I thought Crawford was a little bigger.
Oh, maybe.
Porter, you can tell Porter's small. He's probably a little bigger than us.
I remember that one time they ran into each other at I forgot what fight, and Bob is there, and he goes up there. He goes like, "The best advice I can give you."
Oh yeah, he told me.
Stay away from that guy.
Yeah, I remember he told me that. Yeah, because they had beef on Twitter, right? They had Porter and
it's just like the fans, you know.
Yeah, like wrestling.
Yeah,
to a certain extent, there's an entertainment aspect to it.
Yeah, man, but that's one half of the PBC welterweight final. We await the winner of Spence and
so
Porter.
many boxing fights August, September. We have
can't wait.
Just run through a couple of them because we're about to get off the air. We have in August. We have Delar versus Canelo's brother. I don't know why they're fighting for a belt at this point. August 31st.
I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
You can read my Twitter.
We also have DSG's fighting August, right? At Staples Center. Is that fight confirmed?
Against. Nah, they would have announced it by now.
Right,
I don't think that fight's happened. Apparently,
cause that's like literally 3 weeks away, right?
Apparently, this guy is talking to DAZN. Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey Garcia.
I don't know why, unless he wants to stay at 140. 140, there's like 3 belts in the zone. But then if he wants to stay welterweight, like why would who are you gonna fight? Like you need to stay in PBC. So I guess he's done. I don't know.
Or remember, it's all bargaining chips too. You know, hey, they're gonna pay.
I'll probably get money from Al.
Pay me this. They're gonna pay me 40 million. Pay me 50 or whatever the price is. But there's a lot of fights. Obviously, Canelo may fight September. We don't know. I mean, at this point, I don't think so. It's like July. We have obviously Porter versus Spence in September. We have like I said, in August we have Lara versus one of the Alvarez brothers, and then there's another big card. And then August 3rd in Showtime, the Polish guy versus Chris Arreola. That's another big fight. I think it's on Fox.
Yeah,
it's on regular Fox TV.
Adam Kowanowski.
Yeah, the big Polish guy who was the co-main event to Spence versus Garcia. I remember that.
Yeah, so
he hasn't fought since.
Probably, I don't know.
It's been about a year. So there's a lot of boxing fights, and I think this guy's fighting too. Lomachenko's fighting. I mean, not Lomachenko's fighting. He fights in August too. Lomachenko.
Yeah, August 31st.
And I think Klitschko also fights in.
Did you say Klitschko?
What's the name? Not Klitschko. What's this guy's name? Champion at This guy just tagged me earlier today or like a couple days ago.
What division? Oh, Kovalev.
Kovalev, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting
August 24th. Yeah.
If Shitty win, he'll probably fight Canelo in November or December.
So yeah, there's a lot of fights coming up here. Big boxing fights. Obviously, UFC, a lot of fights. Pay-per-view next week, pay-per-view in 3 weeks, and then the big one in September.
WWE,
SummerSlam. One of Danny Bone's favorite pay-per-views.
Combat Sports is looking good for the end of the summer.
The next, I guess, it's not a quarter. No, because quarter be September. So I guess the last quarter is looking good like always.
Yeah.
But Danny Bones, anything else you want to talk about?
Not really.
All right, guys, that's it from all of us. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back hopefully in 2 weeks. Thank you guys for subscribing, for listening, for sharing, for supporting us. We appreciate it all. Follow us at bumptalk_. Any questions, email me at bumptalk1@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you guys. We'll see you soon. 2 weeks will be in Newark. So take care, guys. Have a good night.